Hi, this is Kai from Kikai Craft, and today we are going to look at another vintage pen. This is a Parker, and it is one of the Vacumatic Parker pens. So let's just go ahead and have a look at it. I got this from a local vintage pen and watch shop, and this is how he packaged it. It comes with this box, nice cushion. This is how it looks under the false bottom. And let's go ahead and have a look at the pen itself. Okay, so this is how it looks. Now, I don't know about you, but I really like the pattern on its body. This is, if my reading serves me right, this is made with celluloid. Okay, I think this is my first celluloid pen. This packaging also comes with a free pen sleeve. Okay, they're very nice to provide that, and of course you can always put your pen in. Okay, so let's okay, I don't know if it removes the plating. Looks good. Okay, let's just put this aside. Oh, it comes with original, with real leather. Okay, so let's put this aside and have a look at the pen. Okay, so this is how the pen looks like. Let's scoot you in just a little bit closer. All right, so it's like a cigar shape sort, but with like a flatter top. Yeah, but this part is a bit shaped like a cone. The cap has like gold trim. It has a pretty wide band at the base of the cap and like a black, I don't know, faceted finial on top with a gold band and an arrow clip. On the other end, it's just a basic domed sort of end to that. Uncapping it, all right, you'll see that it comes with quite a pointy nib actually. And it has Parker Canada 55 on the nib. Okay, this is how it looks. From that end, the section is like black. Feels a little bit like plastic, but I don't know if you can see it, but you can basically see through the pen. Why do I kind of see water in it? I'll have to check. All right, so to fill this in, you basically unscrew this bottom part and you have this lever. Okay, now let me just get something. All right, just to be clear, I did unbox this earlier because I wanted to clean it up a bit. Since it is a Vacumatic, I didn't really want to clean it with the recording because I didn't exactly know how it would work. So basically, to fill it with ink and to release ink, you have to use this plunger sort of type at the end, and you have to slowly push the ink out. And if you were going to draw in ink, you had to also slowly bring it in, push it out, bring it in, push it out, and it would be some sort of process, which is fine by me because I'm not planning to fill it up with a lot of ink. Basically, I just also want to see what kind of nib it has. Sometimes I read that it's a flex nib, and sometimes I read that it's not. And some people say it's like the luck of the draw, but I don't really quite know. And I don't know, I've looked at the nib and I don't see anything on the nib that can tell me exactly what kind of nib it has. Let me just do it one more time. So what we're going to do right now, we're just going to compare its size with other more commonly found pens. In case you're looking at getting one, you have some sort of idea how long it is. All right, scoot you out so you can see the comparison just a little bit better. All right, This should work. All right, let's start with it uncapped. Oh, by the way, this particular Vacumatic is a 53. It's not very clear, but in its body, I don't know if the light is catching it. It has lost the paint on it, but what it is still engraved. It actually says made in Canada, Parker Vacumatic, and it says 53 at the end. So apparently that means it was made in 1953, so this is a 70-year-old pen. Okay, so size-wise, let's have a look. I have brought out a collection of semi-vintage and modern pens, just for everyone to have a look at how it compares with lengths. Okay, so just to remove the more commonly found Kaweco, you will see that the Kaweco is definitely much shorter than the Parker Vacumatic. So let's move that to the side. Let's go for a few more vintage pens. So this is your Pelikan, what's that? Pelikan 140. And so it is just a smidge longer than your Pelikan 140. If you have your Platinum pocket pen, this is all capped of course, the Platinum pocket pen is maybe half a centimeter, almost a centimeter shorter than your Parker Vacumatic. If you have the Mont Blanc 144, another almost vintage pen, you will find that it is longer than your Vacumatic. And if you have your Cross Solo Classic, which is becoming a vintage pen because it is quite an old pen, it is about a centimeter, maybe a little more, longer than your Vacumatic. So these are your vintage pens. Let's have a look at the more modern one. So this is the Leonardo Officina Furore, much longer, as you can see. Okay, and if we compare it, say, with our Lamy, the Lamy capped is much longer. And if we compare it with our Sailor Pro Gear, you will see that the Sailor Pro Gear is just a smidge longer than your Parker Vacumatic. Now let's go ahead and uncap it. Okay, so uncapped, this is how long it is. I'll bring out the ruler in a while so you guys get to see. Let's just move that to the bottom. Okay, so when you compare it with, oops, your Pelikan 140 uncapped. All right, oops, things are falling today. All right, so the Pelikan 140 is quite a bit shorter in length. And if you compare it with your Platinum pocket pen, of course, it's going to be much shorter in length. Just out of curiosity, since we are dealing with short pens right now, let's just see how it fares if it is posted. Okay, so this is your Platinum pocket pen posted. This is your Vacumatic posted, relatively the same length. So if you have a Platinum pocket pen and if you post it, it'll be the same length as your Vacumatic posted. And if you have your Pelikan 140, it's going to be shorter than the two. Okay, and then just for fun, let's go ahead and have a look at how it would compare with your Kaweco. If it's posted, your Kaweco will be shorter still than your Vacumatic, and unposted, your Vacumatic will be shorter than your Kaweco. It'll be right just a tiny bit above the section of your Kaweco. All right, so let's put this one aside. Okay, and yes, we were looking at it posted. Oh no, we weren't. Let's just continue with this. All right, let's post this and move these to the side. If we were going to compare it with the Mont Blanc 144 unposted, okay, your Vacumatic will be longer. And if we compare it with your Cross Solo Classic uncapped, your Cross Solo Classic will be longer than your Parker. And for the more modern pens, if you get your Lamy, let's move this aside. Okay, if you have your Lamy uncapped will be longer. In fact, your Vacumatic will be just at the lip of your section. And if you have your Sailor Pro Gear, it will be, oh, okay, so it'll be just a tad shorter actually than your Vacumatic. All right, so that's how it fares with regards to its length. Let's just for fun add this into the mix. So your Furore will definitely be longer than your Vacumatic. Okay, let's put these aside. Okay, so let's have a look at how it fares in terms of inches and centimeters. So capped, it will be about 5 inches long. That would be about 13 centimeters. And uncapped, it will be about 4.5 inches long, roughly 12 centimeters and a smidge above that. And posted, if you post your pen, it will be about a little under 6 inches and a little over 15 centimeters. Okay, so that is how this particular pen fares in terms of length and in comparison with other pens. All right, so what we're going to do right now is we're going to ink it, and I plan to ink it with the Diamine Autumn Oak. All right, this was a gift from inkshare.id. I think it'll be a good color with this. I could be wrong, but you will see. All right, so let's go ahead and open it up. Okay, let's put this under just in case. And this is a standard ink, if I'm not mistaken. Oh, sorry, don't fall. Okay, you have to remove this. All right, then we have to make sure that we have it as submerged as possible. We have to push it in and slowly out. And I read somewhere, maybe we gotta do it again. And I think it's gotten a bit of ink. All right, I think so, because this has gotten much less. I believe we have some ink. Okay, so I am actually going to experience this with you because like I mentioned earlier, you really don't know what kind of nib you might get. Well, that's what I've watched so far and what I've read so far. So let's go ahead and take our little notebook for these things. I'm going to scoot you in so you can experience it with me. This is the Traveler's Notebook lightweight paper. Okay, so let's go ahead and write that this is a Parker. Okay, it feels like a fine, like a very scratchy fine actually. Okay, this is a Parker Vacumatic. Very thin. Okay, and this is made in Canada, and this was made sometime 1953. All right, so let's go ahead and draw lines. Very, very thin lines, as you can see. No pressure at all. Okay, very thin lines. I keep on saying that because I do prefer my lines to be a bit thicker. And let's go and create loops. It actually feels smoother the longer you use it. Okay, and now we're gonna try and add just a little bit of pressure. So this is with pressure and without. Okay, with and without. Let's try with loops. So there is some sort of line variation, but really not so much. I'm also not trying to push the tines so far apart. Let's try it again. Okay, I wouldn't say it's a flex nib at all. What I can see would be just more of the ink coming out with the tiniest variation. I'm not planning to push this nib. So this, actually I received this in June, but I'm just gonna go ahead and write it as July. So let's go ahead and have a little write. So this pen feels a bit scratchy. Oh, okay. I have to say, even if it does, it pretty much keeps up with really fast writing. Okay, let me just go ahead and write what I inked with. Diamine. Okay, autumn oak. Yes. Okay. All right. I have to write that the longer I write with it, the easier it glides across the paper. It does feel like that. A while ago I thought I'd kind of break it, felt a little brittle, but now it feels a bit better. It still feels scratchy though. And you can hear the feedback. All right, so all in all, I'm glad to have a Vacumatic. Let's scoot you out. All right, so all in all, I'm glad to have a Vacumatic. It's always nice to have it in your vintage collection. I'm also glad that I got the Burgundy Pearl color because I really like it. It has a little bit of the non-translucent and the translucent part on the celluloid body. And even if the nib feels a little scratchy, this is a gold nib. It's a 14 karat gold nib, if I'm not mistaken. And it's still quite pretty to have, to bring along. And I feel like it's quite durable to keep in your everyday carry. I wish that I could have had just a bit more flex with it because I really like my flex pens. I can see that there can be a bit of flex if we exert a little bit of pressure, but in faster writing, that's not really how it works. Just as a comparison, I'm thinking of getting a more comprehensive flex video later, but just as a comparison, this is the Pelikan 40 and this one really has flex working for it, if you can see, right? Whereas this one, it does, but it's not as dramatic as the Pelikan 140. But it does actually, now that I've been looking at it a bit longer. Okay, so I hope that you found this little video about this very pretty pen, the Parker Vacumatic 53. All right, and if you are looking at getting a vintage pen, this seems to be a very pretty pen to have. And I hope that if you're into flex nibs, you get one with a flex. And if you're into super fine nibs, I hope you get a nib like I did. Okay, so this is Kai from Kikai Craft. I hope you have a great day or a restful evening. Bye everyone.